Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are subject to a lot of criticism of their performance on the Nintendo Switch. But with the free upgrade on the Nintendo Switch 2, it seems like things are going to run a lot better. But really, how much of an improvement could this be? We're going to take a look at Pokemon Scarlet on both systems here, and we're going to go into similar areas with a lot of lag and loading. So we're going to look at Messagoza, the classrooms with the infamous 4-frame children, the laggy lake, that sort of thing. So, you know, if there's more things that I don't cover that you know about, or just things that surprise you, please leave it down in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe. It would make me feel good. It would help me out. And I like to do a lot of Pokemon stuff, a lot of battling stuff, but I also want to branch out beyond just battle videos and do more stuff kind of like this. So I would appreciate all the support. So let's just get right into the comparison. So we're standing in front of the gates to get into Messagoza. So we're going to take this and we're going to see, you know, load time, how laggy it seems, all that jazz. So let's see what it's got going on. Okay, so you can see like the birds and the trees in the background, right? We'll have to compare that. We see this person walking here. Alright, yeah, you can definitely feel the frame rate. They're kind of stuttering down. As the camera pans, it stutters. So if we just like stop for a second, look at these guys, we'll be able to compare what they look like. Let's hop on Koraidon here. Let's go Speedy. So you can see like some kind of loading glitches there, right? And I'm not expecting the performance to be perfect, but I imagine it'll be like, you know, notably better. Alright, so let's approach the Academy. So a lot of stuff that's loading in dynamically seems to be loading in when we get close to it. There's not a whole lot of like draw distance, which I think is one of the things that gets mentioned. So let's step inside the Academy here. Because one thing I wanted to see is, I want to see in the classrooms. Let's do language one. Watch me be bad at this. Okay, so let's pay attention to, you know, people are actually moving in this a lot more fluidly than I remember. It was the opening scene that people were like really choppy. Jean Salvatore, merci beaucoup. Oh god, I don't know French. The back of that board, moving around, sure. So let's see, what are they? This is all thank you. This seems fine to me, but there have definitely been times in the classrooms that look pretty laggy. Let's maybe walk into a classroom and see just like if that's worse. Yeah, I mean, okay. It's not terrible. All right. We also look out across the plains, right? Get this wide shot. I'll be curious to see how different that all looks. Casaroya Lake. Yeah. So this is a very laggy spot in the game. And in the comparison video, or not the comparison video, sorry, the preview video that they displayed, they showed a lot more things spawned here and things were moving nicely, right? So far it's not too bad, but there's also not a lot that's spawned. Lots of, like, because water is intensive to render if you want to have this surface animated this way, right? There's also just not a lot of things around. Like, there's a good amount of Tatsugiri on this island, right? But, you know, we're getting just surprise spawns in front of us. There's a Dratini there, there's a Tatsugiri there, surprise Dreadnought, then like suddenly a Gyarados, right? So things aren't spawned out very far, and oh, there was just like some graphical glitches in the background, right? So lots of minor things at minimum, if not full-on just performance problems that people have experienced in this spot. Another spot that a lot of people have issues with in terms of lag are the terror rates. Now, I'm only going to do offline ones for the sake of this comparison, because online introduces factors of lag that have to do with people's internet connections, right? And I just care about straight performance. So we're going to take a look and see if there's any lag at all for doing just a regular terror raid. You know, we'll be able to compare these, see if there's anything of note. A lot of particle effects and such in this screen, so let's see what the catching screen is like, yeah? Meditate was caught. So I'd say, like, not too bad for offline, right? So this is what the performance seems to be like on average for the original Nintendo Switch. And I have like a day one original Switch as well. It's not the OLED model. So this is what we'll use to compare against the Switch 2 and see how that fares. I might look different at that time. It's a couple days before the Switch 2 even comes out that I'm recording this part. So if I'm not in this exact same getup, then that's exactly why. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the second part of the comparison video. Now, I would have just shown you what this game looks like on the Nintendo Switch original, this bad boy right here. We're now going to jump in, and I'm hoping that it already downloaded the free upgrade. If it did not, you're not seeing this part. Yeah, if things don't look immediately different, that feels immediately different. Okay, yeah, hold on. Alright, let's fly to the places that we need to compare. I'm already... Oh my god, yeah, this... The download must have come through. Let's see. I'm curious how quick, like, that was, like, less than half the time, for sure. Let's walk in to Messagoza. So, big central town, and it just, like, immediately loaded. If you remember from the previous bit, like, I gotta go and compare to actually how long the time differences were. Like, you actually have, like, a walk cycle. Clouds are moving. Alright. Let's then hop on Koraidon and see what happens when we get moving quickly. So, let's see. As things pop in... Finally, out of class. I'm actually baffled already, purely at the load times. Right? So I'm gonna walk in. Let's do another language. Let's do another class here. All right. Yes. Alright, let's see. This is delicious. Yeah, we compare, like, even just, like, you know, you can complain about whether or not you think that it's fluid and looks good or anything like that, but if we look at, you know, the person sitting in front of us, the way their hair is moving, it's not choppy, right? It is doing the things that you'd expect it to. That's all for today. Turn around. That's just smooth. There was no load time. It didn't even pop up the little, like, it didn't pop up the anythings. I think the one that I have for the original is on, like, it's during rain. But regardless, we'll pan back and forth. But, like, that person above us right there, right? They are decently far away. Time to study hard. Dude, you just turned around. Go to school. You can actually see trees moving in the background. The trees are flowing. It's crazy. Okay, this isn't something I recorded on the original, but we all know what I'm about to show was a problem before, and that's the windmills. Windmills. At the best of times, they were choppy. Look at them. I'm not even close to it. Okay, pay attention to the sunlight here, right? The windmill is moving and smoothly blocking the sunlight. This is pod racing. Like, genuinely, I genuinely think the Switch 1 version of the games is some of the best Pokemon that I've played. It's all on, like, I enjoyed my first playthrough of Pokemon Violet so much. I think that a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the lag, kind of taking them out of it, which, like, you know, fair enough. I hope that those people who, like, didn't buy it or, like, dropped the game because of the lag come back to it now with this, because this is immensely better. So already, look how far out things have spawned. And you know, like, things in this lake would spawn right as soon as you, like, walked up on them. We got a beached Dondozo. There's a whole outbreak of them. There's a bunch of Dondozo here. You got all the Meryl Azumarill, sorry, Avalugg and Bergmite. You have all of these things spawned right now in this lake that is notorious for lag, and it feels smooth. You even have the fog animated at the same time as the water surface texture. And you can see the reflection of the outline, you know, the tree outline there in the water. This is vastly different. This is very impressive. Good job, Nintendo. You did it. So this is the last bit that I wanted to check and see, you know, how it's performing. Already, oh my god, this already is so much smoother. This is wild. I'm, like, kind of in shock, honestly. I don't need to catch this guy, but I want to see the catching animation. Like, there's just so many particles going on here. This is clean. And instantly I load out of it. And the save was a second? That's incredible. So that's the side-by-side look at Pokemon Scarlet on the Nintendo Switch First Edition and the Nintendo Switch 2 First Edition. I mean, do I really need to specify that right this time? No, but I did. Don't worry about it. So let me know down in the comments what part struck you the most. Honestly, for me, even though the graphics look so much better, the load times are probably the thing that jumped out to me the most, right? Because I knew that the graphics were going to be better. We saw that in the preview trailers, but I was really, really surprised at just how quick some of the things loaded. Like the fact that saving only took about a second. When we left the academy to go back out into Mesagoza, there was genuinely no load time at all. Even getting into Mesagoza was like 30% of the time that it took on the Switch 1. So things like that are incredible. The battles look nice and smooth, looking at the Terra battles. And so I'm very excited to play through these games again. On my channel, I will have either very shortly after this or already up a video showing how to transfer your Switch 1 system data over to your Switch 2, as well as how to transfer save data back from the Switch 2 to the Switch 1. So if you're like me and you want to keep your your Pokemon save files on your Switch 1 so that you can have a new copy on Switch 2, but you don't want to have to choose everything manually, like you also just want to do a full system transfer, it's fully possible, and I show you how to do it on my channel. So please go and check that out. Subscribe while you're here. I do a lot of Pokemon stuff, mainly VGC battling related content, but I'm hoping to do more than just that. And if you have any ideas of other stuff you'd possibly like me to see, I'd also be open to hearing that. Otherwise, enjoy your new console, enjoy fun times. I have no idea what I got. I probably just got like the comparison stuff playing behind me because why not? But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Thanks a ton and peace out.